Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to K-Wing's Let's Plays, and Fortnite Invasion now has Thanos, the Mad Titan, as a playable character. Thanos originally appeared in Fortnite as a special boss character a couple years ago, and now he is finally unlockable, or rather you can buy him in the shop, and this is what he looks like. An old man with a helmet and a gauntlet. And, that's pretty much it. He's got a gauntlet and this. So, the backpack is from another character from the last time I looked at Fortnite. I don't know. It's some type of alien equipment. Ouch. And Robin is supposed to be coming either this month or July. Oh, my foot's going to feel bad for a while, but thank you. So Thanos, along with Ant-Man, is available. Venom is back. Ghost Rider's motorcycle, including Ghost Rider himself. So, a lot of Marvel stuff. Cap is back because 4th of July. Makes sense that Cap would be coming out. Blade is available again. You got some Deadpool stuff and Deadpool emotes. X-Force outfits are back yet again. More Black Widow stuff because her movie's coming out. Silver Surfer is back in the shop, which it's been a while since we've seen him. Daredevil. And I don't think Marvel and DC can coexist, so I'm pretty sure DC got the yeet. Let's see. Are there any DC characters still available? No! They took DC characters away for now, because Marvel and DC can't play nice together. That's kind of funny. UFO music? Sure. UFO music is fun. I just purchased it. Tattoo lady. Alright, so you guys know how this is gonna work. We just go in and play some Fortnite for a while. And Superman will be coming out in now 40 days for Superman. Still probably the coolest skin that's gonna be in this game. Just because of, you know, nobody thought Superman was going to be in this, and there he is. So, along with his Zack Snyder incarnation. Pretty interesting. Alright, let's bring Thanos for a spin. There he is. It's okay, I'll take care of it. Whee! Look at me! I'm MCU accurate. I even look sad. I have a sad prune face. I look like Fred Flintstone with purple face, mostly. Just very sad. He hates his job. Everything about Thanos is just sad and depressing. Boop. But it is MCU accurate, so that's kind of cool. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna give him that. He's not gonna have any Marvel stuff. Because I said so. Cosmic Summer Quest, nice. Alright, let's rumble. Let's go. There is no Ninja Gaiden stream tonight over on the other channel because I can't. I'm just in too much pain. But your regular streams will resume outside of Ninja Gaiden. We'll see how I do tomorrow. But how's everybody doing? How many of you guys actually purchased Thanos tonight? I thought he was actually coming out on the 27th, though, not the 26th. So that was kind of weird. But, it is what it is. And I have my little UFO gif. Yay! Thanos looks like he'd be fun. Thanos is just having fun. Thanos just wants to have fun. And they've pulled all the DC stuff from the shop. So you can't get the Batman stuff anymore. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. Alright, Thanos, let's go. He's got some alien pickaxe thing. Along with that little alien buddy on his back. Because, I don't know, it just looks funny. You can equip him with whatever, like, stuff you want, but this is what I gave him. Because the last time we did anything with a character skin was the alien that came out a while ago. The Fortnite invasion thing, I think 2 weeks ago, something like that. Oh, my phone is making noises. Bonsai! Now, can he do anything cool with his gauntlet, though, or is it just for show? Probably just for show. Hey, how's it going, people? Yes, this is the last stream of the night. No other streams tonight. No streams. Whoa. Wait, is there music coming out of my car? Really? Okay. Well, that's interesting, I suppose. Who dare shoot at Thanos? Oh, I see. He has the snap emote. Okay. Well, the snap emote didn't do anything, so I'm still here. I haven't been snapped. No, like the yeah. That's weird. That's weird. Womp. Did I just hear a helicopter? Oh, the UFO stuff is still... Whoa! UFO stuff is still here, obviously. Those aliens. Aliens walk among Fortnite people. Whoops. Whoopsies. Oh, I already have weapons. Oh, that's right. Never mind. Everybody has weapons right now because of the alien invasion. Everybody has to be able to defend themselves right as they spawn. I totally forgot about that. So anyway, hopefully you guys are having a good night. And this is Thanos, the Mad Titan, in Fortnite. Who knew? I didn't see this coming, but I'm sure they're going to have more Marvel characters in July. I bet you DC characters will come back in August. So I wouldn't count on seeing Robin or any of the other characters that were supposed to come out for DC in right now. They're gonna do a big push for Marvel. Watch. You watch. Thanos is the beginning of more Marvel content. So apparently you guys could lock Thanos early at the beginning of this week through some type of like Thanos challenge. And the people who did well enough, you would be able to unlock the Mad Titan, but everybody knew that you would actually be able to buy him on the weekend, just people didn't think it'd be Saturday. We thought it'd be Sunday or Monday night. I thought it was going to be the 28th, the same day as the Kazuya Smash Brothers stream, but I was wrong. Which is fine. You wish Uber wishes to drive Thanos around? Alright. Thanos will accept your kind offer to be driven around. Be chauffeured. How's it going? Aliens! Was I not supposed to? Go back to your own planet, aliens! Ow. Somebody killed me. Somebody killed Thanos! I was so young! Anybody know how old Thanos is? Is he hundreds of years old or thousands of years old? Probably pretty old. How did I miss? Darn it. Well, that explains that. He's sad because he knows what he's doing is terrible, but he felt so strongly to go through with his plan. No, I wouldn't. Thanos was a bad dude. Thanos in the comics is a really bad guy. Thanos in the MCU doesn't feel like a villain. He felt like he had to do it. They made Thanos more not bad guy-like. Unlike in the comic books, he's just trying to do whatever he can to, like, make his girlfriend Death like him more. So he does all these horrible atrocities to get her to notice him. And Death is, of course, the Grim Reaper, but in the Marvel Universe, she's a female. And Thanos has a thing for her. So he does unspeakable acts to make her happy. I'm really surprised they didn't have Death play a big role in the MCU, but I think that Fox had the rights to the character through the Deadpool movies. I don't know. I don't even think Death has shown up in the Deadpool movies yet, though, has she? I don't believe so.
I don't think Death is
Bum, 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 bum. What? You're fine, honey. Food was good. It's fine. I have a little guy on my back. What up, Thanos? Thanos Bros. Cool, I got an assist. Oh wait, no, I eliminated them. Nice. Never mind. Thanos is going carpooling. Whoops. Oh, Captain America's here with me too. Very cool. I have no idea where I'm going, but it doesn't matter. I missed! Aw! I'm gonna run him over. Was somebody hanging out in the trees? You don't get to build your base. Just break it all down. And that's why cars are cool. I don't know. Didn't look like there was anybody there, but I was just gonna ram them anyway. Oh yeah. Time for a sick jump! Or not. I didn't have enough speed, so it didn't look very cool. Oh! You know, this car actually does pretty well off-road. Not as well as some of the other vehicles, but that's fine. Alright, honey. I'm sorry, honey. Honey, I'm on... I just didn't think about it. I guess I am pretty dark. Whoops. Not in a good way, no. I don't think my darkness is a good thing. Whoopsies. Oh, they have some type of shield. And we're out of gas. We're out of gas. I claim your base for Thanos. Because I can. Ah! Thanos is not pleased. Thanos is not pleased. I've come to reclaim your base again. Because I can. No, don't stand in my way. I was in the middle of shooting that other guy. Aha! That's 3 kills for me this episode. Woot. It's because of my lucky backpack. No, I don't. Uh-oh. Going for 4! Oh! Cool! 4 for Thanos. I'm not changing my backpack either. I'm wearing this backpack the whole night as Thanos because Thanos needs a little alien friend on his back. He'd feel a lot better if he had a little small alien compadre. I am gonna change his axe thing though. And my chat is totally frozen. Since Deadpool can regenerate, could he hypothetically defeat Thanos? I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends what type of plot armor Deadpool has. You never know. Let's see. What is a good Thanos-y weapon? What would Thanos use? No. Maybe like a sword? Sledgehammer thing. Unstoppable Force. That looks like Thanos-ish. Don't worry about it, Amber.
I will worry about it because it's my house too.
Of course.
You won't possibly clean it all up because we haven't gotten to it for weeks, so why would I not worry about it?
Okay.
What are you talking about? Okay, I'll let the magical fairies that come in here and organize our house together.
Alright, Amber. Okay. Staff of Doom. Ooh. Soul Chains. Ghost Rider. Could use giant Hulk mitts. No, that's weird. We're gonna do this. Unstoppable Hammer. Get Thanos with a sparkler. Thanos dancing. Thanos with popcorn. Thanos with pizza. No. Thanos walking like Sasquatch. Yes. Because, I don't know. It makes sense, I suppose. Jumbo popcorn's fine. That's fine. No. Let's see what else. Thanos cleaning. Cleaning up the galaxy. I don't know. What about... What's this? Oh. That's whatever that is. Lock it up? No. No. So, I want to know, does Fortnite regret bringing, like, saying 2020 was so bad when 2021 isn't much better? Like, I mean... Is there a way for them to change? They need to fix that. Like, especially at the end of the year when 2021 is over, they need to have it like fizzle and like, I don't know, or have lots of holes in it or something like that. Because 2021 isn't much better. What do we got here? Welcome. Team merch. No. Rock, paper, scissors, Thanos? No. Pizza, Thanos? Ballerina? No. Paddle Royale, Thanos? No. What's this? Mind blown, Thanos? No. Flexing Thanos? I like texting Thanos. That's fun. No. Dip Thanos? No. Terrible kick Thanos. Bring it on Thanos. No. Come here. Maybe. Oh, we'll just give him a snap. That's fine. He's got his snap. He's happy. Alright, let's move on. Moving on. 2021 is 2020 sequel, more or less, yeah. Luke, I love how you're having Thanos do all those things non-Thanos-y. Oh yeah, that's we're gonna do non-Thanos-y things because we can. He's got a little alien friend book bag. He's got a hammer and fun emotes like the Sasquatch because I can. Where is my Sasquatch? There it is. That's how Thanos walks now. This is how he walks. Somebody get a camera and then you can make money. Make sure you're really far away though, so. And I need to put on more hair, but this is my walk now. This is my walk. This is a Sasquatch Thanos. It's not very Thanos-like at all, but I like it. Didn't Thanos just snap? Oh no, I don't feel so good. Gets disintegrated. K-Wing, do you think the pickaxe of Thanos should be the double-ended sword like in Endgame? I don't know, maybe. I mean, if you want to give him a double-ended sword. I gave him a hammer. And next time I'm going to give him a, the Street Fighter sign. Because the Street Fighter sign is cool. No other reason other than that, I just feel like it. And for most of this episode, I'm going to be Sasquatch walking. Because I can. So, here we go. This is what I'm doing. I come across some people, I will fight. Until then, I'm on a brisk walk here. Through the world of Fortnite. I love how he looks from the side. That's like Bigfoot or Sasquatch in the famous photo. He's looking to the side like, hey, how's it going? Don't mind me. Actually, I'm walking pretty quick. It's a fast walking Sasquatch. Hey! Ooh, thank you. But you messed up my walk, so now I gotta walk. Wow, Captain America and Thanos high-fiving each other. Wait, no, no, no! Copyright! Get away! Get away, get away! No copyrighted music. Nope. We do not want that. At all.
Yeah, there's a game on the Switch where you can mix together different
Yikes. That would be a totes copyright nightmare. It would indeed. Would not be fun. Thanos hanging out in the stable. No. Thanos doesn't need doors. He makes doors. No, I don't want to high-five Captain America anymore. It's out of character. I'm not friends. No, don't box me in. Don't box me in! Let me out! Thanos is not amused. Thank you. You're too kind. For giving me a little health thingy. Oh, when they boxed me in like that? Yeah. People, you played with people in Fortnite? When was that? Like a couple months ago?
9 months ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, that was a while ago. They did the same thing to you though, yeah. They just like boxing people in. No. Ooh, what's this? Can I use this gun? Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Thanos is not amused. Oh, I thought I could walk Sasquatch. I can walk backwards as a Sasquatch. Kinda, sort of. Haha! Death by Sasquatch walk. Not sure how that worked, but thank you for the assist. Except I didn't get any points because I was just doing this. Oh, I walk. I can walk in place. Oh, this is too good. I appreciate this. Hey, how's it going? Ooh, what does that say? No, this is Aliens. It's like the MIB. I'm honestly surprised that the Men in Black are not in this. This would be the perfect time to bring in the Men in Black because the alien stuff. Killed by having the Men in Black in? Oh. I meant the fictional movie characters, honey. Yeah, like Will Smith, and you could have Tommy Lee Jones. They're due for more movie legends. I'd say bring in the Men in Black. Here come the Men in Black. Clap, clap. Won't let you remember. That's all I know. Here come the Men in Black. Something, something. I don't know. They brought Men in Black with Chris Hemsworth was in one. It wasn't very good. Yeah, they tried to bring it back. It wasn't Chris Hemsworth's fault though. Like Thor wasn't bad in it. It was just the other people in the movie were bad. It was just lame. Wow, this car has a lot of gas. I didn't even have to fill it up. I think Will Smith could carry a Men in Black movie by himself. He hasn't had an interest in doing it. He didn't like Men in Black 3, so he hasn't been back. Aw, man. You always talk about creepy stuff. It's Fortnite. I think I realized why serious topics happen with Fortnite. It's because all the guns. No, I mean, I don't really play games with a lot of like firearms and stuff like that. So, since that's like more of a real world thing than a video gaming thing for me, I don't know. I guess it just kind of makes me think of. Plus, I hear gunshots a lot, so not like assault rifles, but you definitely hear like shotguns, and you hear rifles and handguns around these parts. So. Oh, the Men in Black. Yeah, they are an intergalactic organization.
Oh yeah, they're like that in the movie.
Yeah, in the movie they're an intergalactic organization. There's aliens that are part of it. They're all over the world. They are kind of like the Green Lantern Corps. Except I think the Green Lantern Corps is cooler. Oh, I know what we need to do. Fortnite bingo. So we're playing as a Marvel character. That means it's a perfect opportunity to talk about DC stuff. So how excited are you guys about John Diggle becoming Green Lantern? In the Superman teaser thing for July 13th. Also, do you think we'll get John Diggle Green Lantern in Fortnite? The reason why I love John Diggle so much is because, like, he's not a tokenized character. Like, in the day and age that we live in with comic book characters, like, Diggle was created specifically for the Arrowverse, and then he was introduced into the DC Comics universe later. But he was a brand new character that was created that had his own story, and it was very unique, very cool, and it worked really well. It wasn't just like taking an established character and then race bending or race swapping them, like to try to make them appeal to whatever today's, you know, tokenized flavor of the week is. John Diggle is his own creation, his own hero, and they're just kind of borrowing a little bit of the mantle from John Stewart by basically saying, you know how cool Diggle is? Well, we're going to combine him with John Stewart and make him Green Lantern because, like, we never really told you what Diggle's real last name was, so we made our own version of John Stewart. It was John Diggle. I know some fans weren't really thrilled with that. They were like, why did you do that to Diggle? Diggle was Diggle. Now you made Diggle John Stewart in a multiverse, like a different version of him. But it's like, if you're gonna make him a Green Lantern, I guess you'd have to make him John Stewart, or you could have just had John Diggle be the Green Lantern. But Diggle's not short. Ah! I hope he becomes Green Lantern, though. I really want to see Diggle. You know, he lost his best friend Oliver, and all this stuff is going on with him. He's moving to Metropolis. I want to see Diggle become a Green Lantern. He's the only original Arrowverse character that's still kind of around in the Arrowverse right now. Like, all the other ones... Flash was Season 2 of Arrow. So he'd be like... the Flash is Tommy. If you're going in the whole Power Rangers thing... Like, you had the first 5 Rangers, the first, like, season, essentially. And then midway through, you had a new character come in. And that's Flash. Flash is Tommy. Like, in that sense. Like, all the other original cast members are gone. Supergirl is not really an original. She's, like, an after person. She'd be, like, the White Ranger. So, like, Flash would be the Green Ranger of the original, like, Arrowverse. And then Supergirl would be the White Ranger. And both the Green Ranger is still around, but the White Ranger is leaving the Arrowverse. And then I guess Oliver would be Jason. I don't know. Even though he wears green, but was Diggle in the very... What episode did Diggle come in the first season? Like, was Diggle in the very first episode of Arrow, or did he come, like, later on in that season? I don't really remember Season 1. I just remember making fun of Arrow Season 1 when we were doing Injustice in 2013. Like, whenever we played as the Stephen Amell Green Arrow, we made fun of him. Like, he's wearing eye makeup and not a mask. You know, things like that. I remember us, like, making fun of him quite a bit. Yeah. What a weirdo. Why isn't he wearing a mask? I guess he just loves mascara so much. Things like that. Yeah. He was wearing women's makeup before it was cool. Before that became a thing, Arrow was walking around wearing eyeshadow. It was, although 80s hair metal bands weren't wearing mascara. They were wearing the black stuff around their eyes, at least Striper. They were using the war paint like in football. I don't know what they call that stuff. It's they put it under. No, it's not eyeshadow. No, you wear it in like certain sports. It's supposed to help with like the glare of the sun or something. I don't know. I always thought it was like shoe shine or something.
It might be.
Something weird. You could have some salad, honey. You could not live with your own failure. Where did you bring you? Back to me. Hipped. Diggle has been in the Arrowverse since the pilot. Yeah! Awesome! So Diggle is, like, the original cast member. So if he becomes Green Lantern, and then they bring him back for his own CW thing, then Diggle is the longest running CW character. Because Oliver's gone. Flash is probably going to leave next season. I wouldn't be surprised if Flash dies, like, at the end of this season. Because people are just getting uninterested in Flash. Which is a shame. I thought the Flash was really good. But seasons 5 and 6 have been meh. Meh. There's a rumor going around that the CW wants a Batman show, and everybody's like, no! Don't ruin Batman. We don't want it anymore. We want Batman on HBO Max. You can't have him, CW. You're done. You're done. You're done. Your time is over. HBO Max's time is now. More or less. So, if they're going to make a Batman show, like a Batman, because the CW's reasoning is, we feel that it's finally time to make a live-action Batman series. It's like, no, you lost the rights. You don't get to do that. Don't let them do that, Discovery. Don't let them do that. That would be bad. We don't want the CW to make a Batman show. You're allowed to. Jeff Johns can make one. The guy who does Doom Patrol, I think, could make a cool Batman show. I don't necessarily. I don't want the people responsible for Titans to make a Batman show. That would not be a good idea. That'd be bad. So no. Alright, I'm gonna change my weapon. Ooh! Sword of the Daywalker! Thanos has a big sword now. Cool. Hello! CW Batman? Nope. HBO Max time. Exactly. CW's time is over. HBO Max time is now. So what happens when you do something inaccurate? That's what happens when you do something inaccurate. Accurate. I don't. It's because the first Thanos was much bigger, but he had to make his smaller so he would fit a regular Fortnite character size like Brutus. Luke, Google said football players put charcoal powder or beeswax on their face to protect their vision. There you go. It's not shoe polish. Okay. That sounds better. I mean, shoe polish would burn. You imagine putting that on your face, like under your eyes? It'd be like, ah! Like the stuff they used to use in the 40s. That would not be... I mean, it would explain why football players look so tough and angry is because their face is literally burning with the shoe polish under their eyes. Probably go blind doing that. Don't do that. So they use beeswax and they use what? Beeswax and charcoal. Do you have the snap ability? Yes, I have the snap ability. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Sorry. There. War paint. Yes, I have the snap. I was shot in the foot and then let CW do that, and I was talking about Flash being inaccurate. Yeah, Flash is getting weird. I don't know. Without Harrison Wells, without Cisco, it's just not. And they're trying to be funny again. Like, they had an episode where Iris and Flash are trying for kids again after the whole, like, we erased our Nora from existence type thing. And then they get caught by the guy who replaced Cisco, and it's just this awkward moment. And it's like, okay, so that's the type of jokes that the Flash has been reduced to. Spicy jokes. I was just kind of like, I can see why everybody loves the Superman and Lois show. But, I don't know. They better not ruin the Superman and Lois show. Because I don't like the idea that Superman is becoming a bad guy now. Because I actually like Tyler as Superman. I didn't used to. But the Superman and Lois show, it made me like him. It was like, holy cow. If the DC Cinematic Universe could have actually done this with Henry Cavill, this is a likable Superman. I did not like Superman in Supergirl. I thought he was pretentious and kind of annoying. But in his own show, it's way better than Supergirl. I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess it's because they're focusing on actual character development and they're telling a really interesting story. Whereas Supergirl was just, I don't know, making episodes for Twitter people. You know, it was just weird. Every season just went further down the rabbit hole, and it just got super eye-rolly and boring, and, you know. The Superman show focuses on his kids, which I guess it was a good call to make the kids, like, teenagers, but I would have preferred to see Superman and Lois with, like, young children. I think that would have been interesting. But, yeah, Tyler has really come into the role of Superman, and Lois is fantastic, too. I like it. I want them to take that same budget and make a Batman show on HBO Max. The same budget that they're using for Superman, let's get an HBO Max Batman show. The only Superman that should become a bad guy is the Injustice universe. Well, I mean, you know the reason why they did it. They made Superman a bad guy because of the Kryptonian invasion. Like, it's different than the Steel Superman that, you know, that John guy is running from the multiverse from, like, basically evil Superman in black. And the Superman of Prime Earth, or the CW Superman, he used the solar flare ability, which was interesting. I liked how they did it. In fact, Superman didn't fully lose his powers after he used the solar flare ability, which the solar flare ability was something from the New 52. It was a new power for Superman. Basically, think of it like TN's solar flare, except it would use all of a Kryptonian's power for like 24 hours to utilize it, and it's a very powerful explosion that puts all Superman's powers into like one solar flare, TN style. Solar flare! So that's basically what it is. I don't remember if the DC Comics people said that the solar flare was inspired by Dragon Ball Z, but it basically does the same thing as Dragon Ball Z. Like, it blinds the enemies, and it can cause a massive explosion. So pretty much Superman used the solar flare to wipe out this evil Kryptonian's army, and then the evil Kryptonian guy got a hold of Superman and used some type of evil kryptonite to make Superman evil. And then we have to wait until July 13th to find out what's going to happen. Because Superman would rather lay down his life than the life of his family, which I thought was very Superman-like. But at the same time, making him evil, I was kind of like, we're doing this again, okay. We did this in the DC Cinematic Universe. We did this in the Injustice world. And even they had evil Superman in the Superman cartoon show a couple times. Of course, it was always Darkseid that made Superman evil, so... I'd like to see what CW Darkseid's like, actually. That'd be interesting. What if CW Darkseid is the same Darkseid as the DC Cinematic Universe? If the DC Cinematic Universe doesn't want to use Darkseid, since Darkseid said he's the guy who controls all the multiverse or whatever, just have Zack Snyder's Darkseid be everybody's Darkseid. He just fights the entire multiverse, pops in different dimensions. That would be interesting. I'd be down with that. Why isn't Warner Brothers the villain? Warner Brothers is the real villain. I am inevitable. It's some type of kryptonite. It doesn't matter. It's a kryptonite that makes people evil. Can they stop the CW from using DC characters? Discovery can now. Discovery expects people to make like really good shows on HBO Max. They're giving HBO Max a much bigger budget. And they want more original content because their argument when they bought Warner Brothers was, you have all these properties and you're not using them. Like, you could have just as many shows, if not more, than the MCU of DC characters on HBO Max all year round. And they're like, get on that. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. I know that Chris McKay is a lot happier now. He hasn't talked about his Nightwing movie in almost 3 years, and as soon as Discovery buys Warner Brothers, he's back talking about his Nightwing movie again. Which leads me to believe Warner Brothers is the one that put Nightwing on ice. It wasn't Chris McKay. They also put the Lego Batman Movie 2 on ice, which that was a very stupid idea because the Lego Batman movie was like one of the top-selling Warner Brothers movies for a long time, and Warner Brothers put it on ice so they could resurrect Scooby-Doo and make movies of it. And we know how well that did. So Lego Batman 2 is going to be coming out in 2023. They were CEOs. There's going to be a lot of mass firing soon. DC Comics, Rooster Teeth, Warner Brothers Pictures, Warner Brothers Animations. Warner Brothers Animations, believe it or not, might not get the axe as bad as a lot of other people like Cartoon Network and Rooster Teeth and things like that. Because Warner Brothers Animation has really stepped it up this year. Superman Man of Steel, or Man of Tomorrow was really good. Long Halloween Part 1 was excellent. The Wonder Woman movie, Justice Society, World War II was amazing. So, I mean, they already have, like, 3 really good DC animated movies, like, for Warner Animation. And Batman Soul the Dragon wasn't terrible. It was meh. It was okay. I rewatched it again recently, and it's like, the first time you watch it, you're like, wow, this is something really interesting. And then the second time you watch it, you're kind of like, Batman plays second fiddle to all these martial arts characters. And they kind of make fun of him for... you know what it kind of reminded me of? It reminded me of my college years when I was like... I loved hanging out with like Japanese and Korean kids, and I always felt like the odd one out. And they always like kind of acted weird around me. Like I didn't belong in their little group. That's kind of like what Batman is like in this movie. Batman is in the movie, and the name is Batman Soul the Dragon, but he's not the main character. Richard Dragon and Shiva, and even Ben, the Bronze Tiger, is kind of like the main character of the movie. And the Master. Like, Bruce is just, he's there to use his name to make a movie, and that's it. Like, Richard Dragon makes fun of him for dressing up as Batman. At first, he didn't even know Bruce Wayne was Batman, and then he saw him put on the costume, and he's like, oh, he says, that kind of explains things. But he's like, even knowing his secret, he's not scared of Bruce. He's just like talking down to him the whole time. So that to me, it was funny, but at the same time, it kind of like, I don't know, it didn't feel like a Batman movie. In fact, Batman does very little in that movie. It's a really cool Richard Dragon and Shiva movie, but Batman movie, not so much. It did make me want to see either a Richard Dragon live-action movie or a Shiva movie. Because those characters were handled really well. But Batman doesn't do much in it. The Long Halloween is the best 2021 Batman movie so far. We'll see what the Long Halloween 2 next month is able to do. But yeah, Warner Brothers Animation is a lot better shape than DC Comics and Rooster Teeth and all this other stuff. And what's amazing to me is they're going, like, DC, even though there's like this, you know, Grim Reaper hanging over their heads, they're still going through with all their really bad comic books that are coming out the next couple months, like Aqualad and the Tim Fox Batman book series, and what they did to Tim Drake recently by changing up some of his life choices and other things. I mean, they're just being super bold with, like, Discovery literally watching their every move. So, I mean, if I was Jim Lee, I'd be like, you know, some of those controversial books that we're trying to sell that we know they're not going to sell, but we're going to get, like, high fives from Twitter, maybe now would not be a good time to release these books, considering that, you know, Warner Brothers is now owned by Discovery. But, oh well, I guess it's just what I told you before. Like, you have one group of people that comes in and they ruin people's hobbies, and rather than return the keys to the kingdom, they take gasoline and they pour it all over the hobby and they burn it down, rather than try to give it back to the fans or whatever. So even though Discovery is looming over everybody's head like a Grim Reaper from Castlevania, they're still going through with their crazy plan. And as my contact at Warner Brothers puts it, he says they're playing Russian roulette with Discovery. That's what they're doing. Oh well, it is what it is. Oh, I got run over! Bum, bum, bum. Thanos of Titan, true. They would try to make other characters household names like Marvel did with Black Panther and Iron Man instead of only doing Batman. I really think they should do a Richard Dragon movie. He's a very unique character. There's a lot of supernatural elements involved because basically Richard Dragon is supposed to protect this gate that houses essentially like a demon from another dimension that if they were to come into Earth would destroy the Earth. And Richard Dragon has the soul of a dragon inside of him. So he's basically like... Richard Dragon is kind of like Liu Kang, the Karate Kid from the Legionnaires, or the Legions of... Not Legions of Tomorrow. The Legionnaires. The Legion. Legion of Superheroes. He's Karate Kid. He's got mystical powers. And he's a martial arts expert. You know? It would be cool for him to have some type of movie or maybe like a mini series on HBO Max or something, but I don't know how you would bring about bringing him into the universe right now. You can easily do the whole thing with Shang or whatever his name is for the MCU because he has a connection to the Mandarin, which the Mandarin was done dirty by Iron Man. Like they took a really cool Iron Man villain and they ruined him in Iron Man 3, was it? So the proper Mandarin is finally coming, as well as the rings, which is something that probably should have been put into the MCU a while ago. But yeah, I don't know what else Richard Dragon would really fight against, but but it'd be a really cool kung fu movie. Maybe you could utilize him with Dr. Fate or something. I don't know. Shiva could definitely have her own movie, though. Shiva's a really cool character. We saw two versions of Shiva in Soul of the Dragon. We saw, like, a kind, like, Shiva, and we saw, like, an evil Shiva. Like, after the events of, you know, Bruce Wayne's training abroad sequence. The only character that I would say that was done dirty in that was Cheshire. Like, they used Jade when Bruce Wayne was in his training years in that movie, and it just did not end well for Jade. It was a waste of a character. Also, it was not the Jade I remember. Jade was not this inquisitive, kind of stubborn, doesn't do her homework, you know, ninja. But I get it. Everybody was supposed to be in their 20s or something like that. It was just weird, though. Oh, that dude's got Rick already. Or is it... Yeah, he has Rick. Abomination, Wong, Fing Fang Fu are in the Shang-Chi movie. Wow. That's awesome. Fing Fang Fu. DC fanboys are one-dimensional. Okay. The Mandarin was always a cool villain. He was an Iron Man villain. At least the Mandarin I remember from the 90s. I mean, sure, in that 90s cartoon show, he kind of played like Skeletor or Cobra Commander, but it was the 90s. I still thought he was an interesting villain. MODOK annoyed me in the Iron Man cartoon of the 90s, though. I didn't like MODOK. The Mandarin was interesting. But they had to play him down because it was the 90s. The only supervillain shows that I can think of that they didn't have to cater to 90s censorship stuff too much was the X-Men and Batman the Animated Series. Spider-Man's Green Goblin was pretty intense sometimes. But most of the other villains in the Spider-Man animated series felt kind of harmless. X-Men, not so much. Mr. Sinister was really intense. I can't believe they were able to do the stuff they did with Mr. Sinister in the early 90s. That was pretty intense storyline. And Joker was really kind of terrifying for, you know, weekday afternoon television. They really pushed the censorship envelope with the Joker. In fact, they couldn't kill people with the Joker, so they had to come up with another way to make the Joker terrifying. So they incorporated the Joker smile from the Tim Burton movies, but instead of killing people, it puts people in a coma. Or, like, turns them into vegetables. Which is still pretty dark if you think about it. And Bruce Timm and Paul Dini and Alan Burnett and all these other people confirmed that basically if you were not found in time and you took the Joker gas and you had like your, you know, your face changed and stuff like that, you were a human vegetable. Like, you're never seen again. They had to try to redo the thing for Mask of the Phantasm because the one guy who was running for public office recovers, kind of. Although, if you read the comic book tie-in afterwards for Mask of the Phantasm, you can see that the counselor's face is forever altered because of the Joker smile. And he ends up going insane because of it. But, yeah, they had to make it so that if you were given the Joker venom, you couldn't really survive it. I mean, you could, but for Fox Kids, you would be forever vegetable. With, like, this horrible grin on your face. That was scary in the 90s. That was pretty intense. But the Sinister stuff was dark. Like, he was experimenting on people. He interrupted Scott and Jean's marriage at one point. He was torturing folks. He was evil. Sinister was probably one of the non-most censored, like, cartoon villains of the 90s, if I really think about it. Mandarin was basically a combination of Skeletor, Cobra Commander, and Serpentor with magic rings. And MODOK was his annoying sidekick. But I would still say that the Iron Man animated series was fun to watch, though. What do I think about Superman being in the Battle Pass? It's really interesting. Like, I never thought they would get Superman. I don't know how they did it. I mean, Superman doesn't have anything interesting going on except for the CW show. Da, 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 da. Whoops. Today is Rabid Fan's birthday. Happy birthday. Da, da, da. Is Loki in this yet or no? Oh, Loki is the next crew member? He is? No, I don't want to buy any more Battle Pass stuff. I'm good. Thank you. Beach characters? Well, I'll have to look on Twitter or something. I can't view it here. Be Iron Man. I'm playing as Thanos tonight. Next few weeks, Loki will come. Very cool. Oh, the animated Joker was terrifying. Not only did they allow him to use guns and stuff like that, but he had like an acid flower. He had that Joker gas, which the Joker gas is a neurotoxin that's mixed with like mustard gas. And it, you know, before the mustard gas does you in, the Joker toxin is, you know, makes you laugh and stuff like that. So you go out with a smile. So they just basically took out the poison aspect for the show, but it was still like a neurological like weapon that would mess people up to the point where it would put you in a vegetative state. That's why when you saw people get the Joker face in the animated series, you never saw them again, like, because they didn't want to draw them again, because they wanted there to be some type of stakes in the show. Mr. Freeze, if you think about it, the people that he froze in the show, like, they all lived. When he froze that thug, like, Batman took him back to the Batcave, and he, like, put him in that hot tank or whatever, and so the guy wouldn't die of hypothermia or whatever. But the fact that they mentioned hypothermia and all this other stuff, like, back then, they didn't really do that in a lot of 90s and even early 2000s cartoons. It wasn't until, like, later on that more shows started to become more mature, like Batman. And the reason why they had to do that is because anime was actually getting a bigger foothold by, like, 1998. Like, more animated shows were ending up being brought to the US, like the more violent ones, and they weren't really censoring them out on Cartoon Network anymore. So you were having characters die left and right, and because of that, shows could become, like, a lot more, we'll say, mature, and they could deal with, like, more topics than they were allowed to in the 90s because of censorship. So that's why things like Spectacular Spider-Man and some of these other, like, later superhero shows, they were able to be more interesting to watch for older people because they didn't have to cater to too much censorship. Because if you censor stuff too much, people are already watching things like Naruto and Bleach and stuff like that that deal with death, like, every other day. So, I mean, you can't, like, be too restrictive on stuff because you won't compete with the imported products. And that's why, you know, censorship and television changed for animation. You can thank Japan, because Japan pushed American television, like the cartoons, to be a little bit more, you know, age appropriate, I guess you could say. Or they wouldn't be able to compete. Because Naruto, on the surface, it looks like a kid's show, but even the Naruto, like, when he was a kid, not a teenager, dealt with a lot of death and all kinds of stuff. But the show, to a casual person watching it, it looks like it's a very okay show for kids to watch. And then boom, all of a sudden you get into an episode where they go out in the field and a character gets killed. And then they have happy slice of life moments in the village sometimes, but they still deal with, like, real world stuff. That's because in Japan, you can have, like, a super upbeat show and still have characters die or get sick with a horrible disease or something, and the show can still have a lot of levity and be, you know, just how it was, but it, for a couple episodes, dealt with something pretty intense. Because Japan early on teaches, like, people things, because it's just a part of life. America, for the longest time, censored people about what you could show in cartoons and things like that. Especially in the 80s. 80s was really good time for animated shows, but also they had a lot of restrictions. A ton. That's why that one show that I did that Cartoon All-Stars on, the Galaxy Rangers, they really pushed the envelope for, like, 1988, I think it was, 86, 87. And if that show was never around, then you probably wouldn't have had Bruce Timm and company even think they could get away with doing a show like Batman the Animated Series. Because it wasn't your normal Saturday morning cartoon show. I think it was called Galaxy Rangers. I don't know where the DVD is. It's down here somewhere. No guts, no glory. Luke, just like FMA. Full Metal Alchemist, yeah. Full Metal Alchemist. Yep. Full Metal Alchemist. I remember when Cartoon Network first tried to air that show, and they had, like, so many people picketing against it, like, when it first came out. And then they had another Full Metal Alchemist show that came out years later. Like, I think it was like, I don't know, 5-6 years later after it. It was even more extreme, and nobody said anything because they were already so used to it. But you had like a parent coalition trying to get Full Metal Alchemist and Naruto off the air at one point. Today, you know, people who censor and remove television shows are the Twitter Puritans. And then they complain when their shows get canceled because nobody's watching them. Ba-ba-bum. Oh noes! Send a kiss to Brazil, only Brazilian. Thank you for the super chat, Vinny. Do I have a creator code? No. The Fortnite people will not give me a creator code. They say that I don't bring in enough views for Fortnite, and I don't play it enough, or something like that. Although I've seen Fortnite creators that only stream this game like just as much as I do when there's a new character they're interested in. But it is what it is. I don't care. I've been focusing on growing memberships for our channel, so it doesn't really bother me. We have sponsorships coming in the fall for other things. It would be nice, though, because I've told them numerous times that we have a lot of our audience that plays Fortnite, and I'm sure they would love to support us, because they can't, you know, be members of the channel, or they can't do super chats, or they can't become patrons or whatever like that, but they play Fortnite. And it's like we'd actually bring in a lot of business for them, too, with, like, all the people we have that play this game. We have a community of, like, 400 to 500 people that play Fortnite on this channel. Over in the Discord and other places, Reddit. And that PlayStation fan group and stuff like that. So, I mean, hey, if Epic doesn't want to make money, hey, that's fine by me. It doesn't bother me. I won't lose sleep over it. I missed! I got the assist. Cool. Ah! K-Wings, do you think Fortnite is going to show just as much DC characters as they do Marvel? No! No, they will not. Nope. Maybe Discovery will. Traditional Warner Brothers? No. It's actually not because of Warner Brothers that you got DC characters in this game to begin with, though. You can thank DC Comics for that. The deal for the DC characters that you've seen in this game came from like people like working under Jim Lee and stuff like that. Like that's the DC Comics branch that got the DC characters in Fortnite. It's not Warner Brothers. If it was Warner Brothers, you'd have a lot more Warner Brothers characters in this game. And you only have like maybe like 1 or 2 actual Warner Brothers things. I don't know. Is what's his face? What's his name? The Keanu Reeves character in this game, is he a Warner Brothers character or no? John Wick. Is John Wick considered a Warner Brothers franchise, or is he Columbia Pictures or something else? Like, who is John Wick? Yeah, Fortnite is going to have a lot of Marvel characters in there. I bet you all of July is going to be, like, probably, like, I'm going to guess, like, 4 or 5 Marvel characters will come out this month. And then in August, you'll have, like, Superman and maybe Zod. I doubt you'll have Zod. Superman, maybe Supergirl. Although Supergirl show's ending, I don't think you'll get Supergirl. So, did you guys hear the craziest rumor about Superman? What's going on now? Like, apparently a leak from the film that has some people up in arms and some people don't care about. But apparently, the Supergirl might not be the daughter of Superman or Kara. She might be a gender-swapped Clark Kent. Like, when Flash travels by accident, the Superman of his world becomes Supergirl. Like, he accidentally messes things up. So the whole Keaton thing, it might not actually be Keaton from Batman 89. It might be just a different... something that happens to Ben Affleck's version of Keaton. Or Ben Affleck, something happens to him and he becomes Keaton. Or something like that. So it's like... the Flash's world changes and some characters change, but they're still all the same characters. Like, all the stuff that happened with, you know, Lois and stuff like that. So, like, Supergirl wouldn't be married to Lois Lane, obviously. She'd probably be married to Jimmy Olsen or something like that. And Jimmy Olsen would be, like, the Lois of that universe. It's just a rumor right now. There's some people that are freaking out about it. Some people don't care because they're like, well, I mean, we don't like Henry Cavill anyway because he's a man. And Supergirl's better than Superman anyway. But the people that wanted Supergirl to be the, whatchamacallit, the daughter of Christopher Reeve's Superman or whatever, some of those people are upset. But again, there's no confirmation. It's just like rumors. It makes sense, though. If they went, that is, doing something like that is dumb. And that would be something that Warner Brothers would do to tick people off. So that's why I'm kind of like, oh, that seems like it might have some validity to it, because Warner Brothers is really bad at what they do. They do stupid stuff all the time that really annoys people, and they think that when they cause all this controversy, it's going to make people want to go see their movie, and it's quite the opposite. Like, Henry Cavill fans would be ticked if, like, not only did he come back, but then he essentially gets erased from the DC Cinematic Universe because of, you know, an accident by the Flash, which then means that the Superman character that would show up in the Rock's movie would be Sasha and not Cavill. That'd be super bold, and I don't know, I wouldn't like it. I don't mind if she's like a Supergirl from another reality or something like that, but if it like literally just erases Henry Cavill, and she is the Superman / Supergirl of the, you know, the DC extended universe because of an oopsie that Barry did, and Barry doesn't know how to fix it. Like, he just kind of messes everything up. He makes Batman super old. He turns Supergirl, or turns Clark into whatever her name would be. I don't know. Just alters everything. That would be like the dumbest thing ever, but Warner Brothers would be thinking like, yeah, we fixed the whole problem with the Snyder Cut. So the Snyder Cut is still canon, but it's not, because look, everybody's different now. Bruce Wayne is old, he's got a case of the olds, and Superman is now Supergirl. But it's still the characters you love, they're just different. Be like, no, Warner Brothers, it's not what people want. And Discovery's probably like, what? I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm saying that there's stuff going on set where people are kind of like, wait, what are they doing? Because there's no synopsis of Supergirl. Usually when a character is cast, like when Black Panther was cast right away for Marvel, everybody knew he was playing T'Challa. Nobody knows what version of Supergirl this is. Like, if this was Kara, they would outright say this is Kara. But they're not telling you because there's probably a major twist coming that fans are going to hate. Like, absolutely despise. Which is not going to help the Flash's movie very well. And like I said, it's just a rumor. But the only truth right now is Supergirl does not have an identity. They have not come out and said, oh yeah, this is Kara, or this is Laura Lane Kent, or this is whoever. They're not saying it on purpose. And that's probably going to come back and bite them in the butt. I don't understand Thanos, how it would work either, but, I mean, it's Warner Brothers' way of supposedly fixing everything. By aging up Bruce Wayne, it's like you don't erase all that rich history. See, this is what it is from Warner Brothers' perspective. I can kind of explain it, even though it's dumb. From their point of view, okay, there are aspects that the fans like of the DC Cinematic Universe. Some people really like BVS. They like parts of some of the other movies. They really like Aquaman and Wonder Woman 1, Shazam, things like that. So what Warner Brothers executives would want to do, I'm just throwing it out here, what they would like to do is take the stuff people like from the storyline of the characters that you saw and things like that, and then just kind of twist it a little bit. Like, they don't want to get rid of all that rich history that Ben Affleck's Batman did, right? So what you do instead is you keep that universe Batman, but instead of it being Ben Affleck who we're trying to gracefully exit out of the role, we're just going to have an oopsie happen, theoretically, where Keaton becomes Bruce Wayne or Ben Affleck, except aged by like 20 years, which is why he's wearing the blue suit. The blue suit, I'm telling you, is going to be key. It's the same suit that Affleck wears as Bruce Wayne. It's the same exact one, except on Keaton, well, Keaton isn't really as built as Affleck, so it looks like kind of funny on him. Or, you know, like if your dad or your grandpa wore a suit that Ben Affleck wore, it's not going to look the same. It'll be the same suit, but it's not the same suit. It doesn't have that same look to it. Even if it's identical, it's not the same. So that would explain that. Because Keaton, in his universe, never wore blue suits because the, I forget, behind the scenes of one of the Batman movies, they said, because of how dark the movie was, they wanted a Bruce Wayne that was just as dark as the Batman, so they paired him with darker colors. Brown, gray, black, navy, like very dark navy. They didn't give him colors that would pop because it didn't work for that dark deco world. And here we have Keaton running around in a bright blue suit, which is something that Affleck wore because, you know, they're trying to show that Bruce Wayne has his stuff together. So he wears, like, you know, eye-popping clothes, and his Batman is very bland in terms of the color department. It's like Zack was doing, like, a color contrast between the two characters. But, you know, Keaton didn't play that with his Bruce Wayne. His Bruce Wayne was dark. His Batman was dark. Bruce Wayne and Batman are played two different ways by Affleck, mostly. You know? So, it's, you know, interesting to think about. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a possibility. I'm surprised that a lot of people haven't made videos about this yet because, I mean, this news is already like 48 hours old. It's like, it dropped on Thursday night when some stuff, because they're going to be done filming The Flash in August. Like, they're done filming it. And then they'll have a teaser trailer ready by DC Fandom event. So, but yeah, I mean, if you really think of Warner Brothers as much of a villain as they are, this would be the most villainous thing they could do, and also to really stick it to Cavill and Affleck fans. By like, oh, there's nothing wrong with these characters. Also, if they did that, if they changed the gender of Supergirl from Clark Kent going to this version of Supergirl, which they have not named, and I believe they have not named her because it's on purpose, then there would be no way, if these are not multiverse characters, if Bruce Wayne and Supergirl are not multiverse and they're just changed versions of the original Superman and Batman from, you know, Barry's world, there is no way you could bring Ben Affleck or Henry Cavill back without some type of time travel or multiverse hijinks or something like that. So you need to hope and pray that Keaton and Supergirl are multiverse versions of the characters, because if they are altered versions of Superman and Batman from Barry's world, then Warner Brothers is very carefully and smart, like, replaced those two characters without really replacing them. But they are replaced if they did that. And you can't bring them back. Because they would argue, well, you know, The Flash did this, so how are we going to bring them back? Without doing a reboot. And if they do a reboot, they're just going to do tokenized Superman. By Cotes or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. I like to think that Warner Brothers is super evil, so, I mean, I don't put this past them. But I'm honestly surprised a lot of people aren't making videos on this, because the rumor started happening a few days ago. Like, from people on set talking about it and popping up on different forum sites and being like, you know, people are upset about Whedon's Justice League. Wait till you see The Flash, you know? Because there's a reason why Supergirl's name hasn't been announced, like who she's playing. It just says Sasha plays Supergirl. So. And if you're asking, is there a gender swap version of Clark Kent? Yes, there is. There is a DC multiverse where Clark Kent is a woman, and her name is like Clara Kent or something. And she's paired with Batwoman, who is like, I think it's Helena Wayne, or it might be Brittany Wayne. I don't remember. It was in a Batman Superman Public Enemies book, where Batman and Superman ended up like traveling throughout the multiverse, and they met different versions of themselves, and they came across a girl that kind of looked like Laura Lane Kent a little bit, but it was Clark's female version of himself, and Bruce Wayne met essentially female Bruce Wayne. The males in that universe were not superheroes, really. Well, I'll take that back. The males in that multiverse were the female versions of the heroes, and the female versions were the male heroes. So, like, the Batman and the Superman were females, the Starfire was a dude, things like that. So, like, your traditional characters that were played as male roles in the normal DC universe became females in the other multiverse, and the female roles became man. Something like that. So, they have done it. So, all you have to hope for is in the next couple weeks and months that they actually say what Supergirl this is. But it very well could be the female version of Clark Kent, which means Henry Cavill is gone and can't come back. Which is going to make The Rock really angry because they don't know what is going on with the Flash movie. Like, The Rock is doing his own thing, and he wants to bring Henry Cavill into either Shazam 2 or Black Adam 2. But if Warner Brothers goes and changes Superman into being a woman from, like, you know, Flash's time travel or, you know, whatever Speed Force hijinks, I mean, what can you do to fix it outside of doing a full-blown reboot of everything? And then you're not going to get Cavill or Ben Affleck back anyway, so what everybody has to hope for is that Supergirl is multiverse, and Keaton is not Bruce Wayne aged up 20 years, but he is the Bruce Wayne from the Burton universe. So, which sometimes they say he's reprising his role, and other things are just saying he's playing older Bruce Wayne. So, they could be fooling people with the nostalgia, like making Gotham look like the way it did for Keaton, but not really continuing the 89 story. Even though it was supposed to continue the 89 story. That's what everybody was told back at the DC Fandom event, because Andy, the director, said, hey, we're actually continuing Keaton's story from 1989 and 1992. And now, it doesn't really sound like that. So I guess we'll find out. But, yeah. It's going to be really, really, really interesting summer. But honestly, I'm waiting for the drama channels to start, like, you know, making those videos that say, oh, you know, they gender swap Superman or something like that. But I guess they don't care right now. Maybe they will on Monday, I don't know. I'm not going to. I don't really care anymore. It's like, this movie is too far in development for Discovery to do anything anyway. Discovery will start working on the next batch of DC movies like Blue Beetle and the Batgirl HBO Max show, things like that. Maybe the Green Lantern show would be the first like thing that Discovery's working on. This is old Warner Brothers. Discovery is not going to be able to do much until May of 2022, and technically until like 2023. So Warner Brothers still has the ability to kind of like burn the forest down, so to speak. And Discovery's going to have a lot of trees to replant and a lot of like reforesting to do. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I don't know. Everybody, especially the Cyborg actor, was like, you know, this is really good that Discovery is going to yeet all these people. It's like, they might, but still, like, the damage has been done. And also, you have to remember, too, a company that's phasing out, like, that's disappearing, some of them can always do something out of spite, like a last, like, sabotage job before they go. And if they want to ruin the Flash movie, they easily can, because they're still in power. None of them are fired yet. They're looking for new jobs, but they're still there, and they're still in power. So, it's something to be concerned about. You know what I mean? It's like they're not quite dead yet. They know they're leaving. They know they're going to get the yeet, but right now they're in control. And that is a terrifying thing to think about. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if everybody gets Thanos snapped, or if Discovery's just kind of like, we'll focus on HBO Max. You do whatever you want with whatever it is you're doing for your film vision. And we'll prove to you that we'll make better stuff on HBO Max. But the thing that worries me, and I'm just speaking hypothetically, is say they gender swapped Henry Cavill to be Sasha, and they turned Ben Affleck old. Can HBO Max still do a Ben Affleck Batman show, or would they have to do a Keaton one if he's playing the Bruce Wayne from the DC Cinematic Universe? Like, if he's playing the same character, wouldn't he get the HBO Max show and not Keaton? I mean, not Affleck? How would they do it? Unless they keep with what Ben Affleck wanted for his show, which was it's a prequel to BVS, which I guess he would still look the way he did. So, it would work. But would they let him? Reforestation. Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, the New Gods movie, it was a good thing it got canceled because it wasn't going to be a good movie anyway. Like, the original guy who was writing the New Gods movie actually knew what he was doing, and he was going to be a very good director on it. And then Warner Brothers, to appease the Me Too movement, they replaced the director with a woman director, and she rewrote the New Gods movie, and it was terrible. She got rid of the actor who was going to appear in it because it was supposed to be Darkseid's origin story from Zack Snyder's vision. And the original writer and director was following Zack's idea for Darkseid. So you were going to see Darkseid team up with Ares from the Wonder Woman movie. Ares and Darkseid were responsible for killing off the gods of Olympus. You were going to find out how Darkseid got his powers, like through Zack's vision and things like that. You would have seen like more of the New Gods, the War of New Genesis and Apocalypse, all kinds of stuff. And it would have been the same Darkseid, so you would have gotten to meet him when he was younger. And, you know, the same guy that was going to show up in Zack Snyder's stuff. But Warner Brothers, when Zack Snyder left because of the tragedy, they fired the guy who was working on the New Gods movie and replaced him with a female writer, who took everything that he was doing and changed it to meet the studio standards, and then replaced the Darkseid actor too. Like, so it wasn't going to be the same Darkseid guy either. It was going to be basically its own universe thing that had no connection to the cool Darkseid that we were going to see in the Justice League. So, I mean, that was a good thing that was canceled. But some of the other stuff, not so much. And that was canceled by AT&T that thought that it was going to be a bomb. So they were like, no, this isn't going to work out. But there is some good news. Yeah, Darkseid and Ares were going to team up. Yes. In Zack Snyder's original story for Justice League, parts 1 and 3, how Darkseid in this universe was supposed to get a lot of his powers as he stole them from the gods of Olympus and the gods of New Genesis and some other people. Like, when he kills Zeus with Ares and some other people, they were also going to explain, like, how in the world was Ares so strong when he fought Wonder Woman? It's because he stole some of the god's powers of Olympus, too. Everything, what Warner Brothers didn't understand, like Zack Snyder or not, he had a vision for at least 5 or 6 movies. Ben Affleck's Batman thing had a connection to Snyder's universe, and the Darkseid movie, the Aquaman movie, the Wonder Woman movie was supposed to have a Bruce Wayne cameo in it, but instead of actually having Bruce Wayne in the movie, what they did is they had Diana emailing him. He was actually supposed to appear in the movie. It was part of his contract. Like, Affleck was going to be in it, and they were going to have coffee together, and she was going to be moving on, because one of the things Snyder wanted to do until he killed Batman is he wanted to do Wonder Bat, which you saw him teasing a lot in the Snyder cut. Not so much in the theatrical cut. But in the Snyder Cut, you saw a lot of Wonder Bat moments, and he was going to appear in Diana's movie. They were going to have coffee together, and she was going to explain to him her story. And instead, what happened is she ends up writing him an email. So they still have the Bruce Wayne aspect of the movie, of the first Wonder Woman movie, but it doesn't have that same impact, because she was actually moving on from Trevor with Bruce Wayne. Like, seeing Trevor a lot in Bruce. That's what Zack's plan was. And then when Bruce Wayne was to die in Justice League 3 or whatever, Diana wouldn't basically lock herself up in the world anymore, like lock herself away from the world like she did when Steve died. Like when Bruce died, it would be for something heroic and meaningful, and Wonder Woman wouldn't be as emotionally impacted as the death of Steve Trevor. So Zack had a clear vision of everything. It just didn't match with what Warner Brothers wanted to do. Even the Suicide Squad connected to Zack Snyder's thing. So you had multiple movies that were going to connect. There was going to be a Green Lantern movie, Green Lantern Corps movie that was going to connect to the Snyder Cut. Or not the Snyder Cut, sorry, the original DC stuff. The Nightwing movie was supposed to connect. But the Nightwing movie fell apart because of Zack Snyder and Warner Brothers. Zack Snyder wouldn't budge on the dead Robin. He said it had to be Dick Grayson. Chris McKay met with Snyder and the studio. And the thing that he wasn't thrilled with, that he's talked about in interviews now, is the fact that the dead Robin had to be Dick Grayson. Like, he doesn't like that. And the reason why the Nightwing movie is still kind of shelved, but starting to come back, is because Discovery is expressing interest in a lot more characters to have other things. Like Nightwing and Blue Beetle and Dr. Fate and all these other characters that have just kind of been, you know, not really used. Warner Brothers says they're going to use them, and you could say, well, they are kind of using Nightwing in the TNT and HBO Max thing. It's like, yeah, but it's a multiverse now, so you can have multiple versions of the same character. The reason why Gal Gadot's not really going to show up in the Flash movie unless they're changing things is they want to introduce Brazilian Wonder Woman. So that, you know, after Wonder Woman finishes her third movie, which she says she's done after that, supposedly, then they can bring in Brazilian Wonder Woman because you're going to meet her in the Flash movie. And the Brazilian Wonder Woman is actually very popular right now in DC Comics. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I don't know. Darkseid and Ares, yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I mean, they've been saying that forever. So, I mean... That form site doesn't like us, though. I mean, they could be photoshopped images. Who knows? Dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. Yeah, Brazilian Wonder Woman's going to become the new Wonder Woman because Diana's going to become like this goddess type thing or something. She becomes like a space god or something. I don't know. It's weird. I've never taken pictures like that, so I don't think it's me. But that's weird. Unless they hacked my phone when I was in the shower or something. But I don't take my phone in the shower because I don't want to get electrocuted. I'm always worried I'm going to drop my phone in the tub and that'd be it. So I don't bring my phone into the bathroom. You can actually hack people's phones to, like, turn on their webcam, which is weird. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but People do that so that they can blackmail people, apparently. I got my hands on the new Masters of the Universe Revelation action figures, and Skelegod looks awesome. There's some weird stuff going on some forum sites about me right now, chat. I was just responding to somebody who... There's always like one or two hecklers that comes on these things and says that they have stuff about me or Amber or something like that. It's been like this for 6 months. It happens every once in a while. I go on Reddit, I go to look for the images, there's no form. So, if they were real, they would be blasting them like all over social media and stuff like that. It's only dedicated to like a Reddit page or a forum site. It's like, really? It's like if it's real, then it would be like plastered all over the place. Yeah, see, even I got people checking for it all the time. Like, we found one. I can tell you while I'm here, just because, for fun. About 2 months ago, somebody let me know something was going on. I contacted a friend of mine who... he does some stuff to make websites disappear. We found a forum site that had some pretty lewd photoshopped images, and pretty much my guy nuked the site. Nuked the forum. And that was about 2.5 months ago. A month ago, somebody told me that something happened again. I spent the night looking on Reddit one night, and that one site didn't see anything. I saw stuff I didn't want to see for other people, but I didn't see anything for us. So it's kind of like, wow, that was a waste of a night. So now, if people say stuff, I just contact that friend of mine and send them over to that site and look for stuff, because if it's real, then it would have come out by now. That was a waste of my night. So, I mean, and I'm pretty sure that forum site had a laugh when they heard that I was up all night searching for something that didn't exist. So, I got played. I am now king with Thanos. Your eyes must need bleach. Well, I mean, seeing other YouTubers and streamers in a whole new light, yep. Of course. Was not, but I don't want to get into this. This is a weird topic, so I'm going to cut it off there. No. But yeah, like I was saying, Warner Brothers didn't have a plan for their DC Cinematic Universe at all. Zack had a plan. The directors that came on board, like James Wan and the guy who did Suicide Squad, was not supposed to be a one-trick pony. Patty Jenkins was on board for some things. And everything changed. When Zack was taken out of the picture, it showed you what the leadership was like with all these different film people. Because when Zack was taken off the board of his own free will or whatever, supposedly, the leadership of the DC films fell apart, like dominoes. I think James Wan was kind of the strongest of the group in terms of continuity and some other things. Because, like, after the first Wonder Woman movie, there's really... It feels like it's standalone thing now. Like, the second movie, it doesn't feel like it's part of a shared universe or anything. It just, no mention of anything, just a focus on the 1980s. And I think that's part of the reason why they moved it to the 1980s, so that Warner Brothers didn't want them to focus on, the shared universe, because they didn't want to do a shared universe anymore. And I'm sorry, but Wonder Woman 2 was pretty dumb. It also contradicts the first Wonder Woman movie, because after Steve Trevor died, she took herself off the playing board. Like, she went into seclusion and she was depressed until basically Doomsday, which I guess made sense. I mean, Diana had never been in love before. She didn't really know how to get over heartbreak. She was an outcast of Themyscira, choosing to leave her home. She couldn't go back. Maybe she knew how to go back, but she was banished. I don't remember. But the Wonder Woman 2 movie contradicts the first Wonder Woman movie, and The only thing you could say is, well, this is a Wonder Woman of like another multiverse or something. And that would work. Because the second movie doesn't work. So the third movie, I would like the third movie to be more like the Rise of Skywalker than the Last Jedi. It feels like Wonder Woman 2 is kind of like the Last Jedi in that they do things that just don't necessarily work, but people think they work. And they have Patty Jenkins and Zack Snyder and whoever else has a lot to fix for the third movie to see where they're going to go with it. Just like, kind of like, you know how Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom doesn't really live up to The Last Crusade or Raiders of the Lost Ark? That's why The Last Crusade kind of like mirrored a lot of what Raiders did really well, and fans love it. The Wonder Woman needs to do the same thing. Wonder Woman needs to go back to what made Wonder Woman 1 great, and use those story beats, but like modernize it a little bit. And I think that they would have a hit on their hands. And also not to completely ignore a lot of the modern characters that have been introduced. The other upsetting thing that we're finding out now too lately is that the Atom, Martian Manhunter all had like extended roles coming in Zack Snyder's DC universe. That was always the plan. That wasn't added for the Snyder Cut. Martian Manhunter was always going to show up in Justice League. Green Lantern was going to show up in it, and so was the Atom. Over time. They were going to all be teased in Justice League, like you saw. Ryan was teased quite a bit. Became the head of Star Labs, so he was going to have a bigger role in Justice League 2. That wasn't add-on scenes. That was what the original stuff was. Joss Whedon basically erased all of Ryan's scenes except for one in the theatrical Justice League movie. And he got rid of pretty much all the lasting impact scenes of Cyborg and Cyborg's dad. And replaced it with a Russian family and some other stuff. Some Amy Adams scenes that did not go well with the movie at all. Even though a lot of people didn't like Zack's version of Lois Lane, like, essentially, after losing Superman, shutting down and being depressed, which actually is normal when a loved one dies. Some people just don't deal with grief very well. So, I mean, that's what Lois's arc was supposed to be. And then she was going to go back to work and stuff like that, and when she was ready to move on, because it had only been a couple months since Superman passed away, and they were going to get engaged and all this other stuff. So, I mean, that was very hard for her, because maybe it would have been easier for her to move on had they got engaged and he died, rather than not even knowing if he was going to propose to her or not, finding the ring. I mean, that's pretty messed up, right? Lois just kind of snapped from reality, so to speak. The ending of Wonder Woman 3, no one's been at the manor in years. Who are you? Diana Wayne. Yes, have Wonder Woman becomes Batman, please. I'm okay with this. Yeah, after Bruce Wayne dies in Justice League 3, Wonder Woman goes back and somebody asks, I'm sorry, I haven't seen you. Who are you? How do you know the Waynes? I am a Wayne. I'm Diana Wayne. And then have the Batman music. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, ba-da-dum. And you see Wonder Woman become Batwoman to honor Bruce. I would not be... I would be okay with that. I think that'd be kind of cute. Be like, she didn't want to be Wonder Woman anymore. She misses her love interest. And she's going to fight crime forever in Gotham City as Batwoman with superpowers. Yes, please. Do it. Do it now. They're going to kill Batman anyway. Have Wonder Woman become Batwoman. Like she did in that one Elseworlds comic. I'd be down with that. I want to see her rip Joker's arm off with the lasso of truth. Make it happen, DC. Let's go. Let's go. And then you can, you know, what they were going to do with having Lois and Batman have a kid. Have Wonder Woman and Batman have a kid. Name the kid Damian. Let him be Robin for Wonder Woman. There you go. There you go. So you can still, you know, Zach, you can still kill Batman. Just instead of Lois being with child, with Bruce Wayne's baby, it's Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is with child with Bruce's baby. That works. And then when he dies a heroic death, Wonder Woman becomes Batwoman. Damian, when he grows up, becomes Batman. Boom. There you go. It works. Hey K-Wings, I love your videos. I always give your vids huge thumbs up and I subscribe to all your channels. I share with my friends and try to get them to subscribe as well. That's exactly what that helps the channel out tremendously. Thank you. Word of mouth, telling your friends to subscribe, clicking that notification bell, all notifications, helps out tremendously. See, I can look, if Warner Brothers wants to be like super pandering to people that want, like, you know, change, I wouldn't even tokenize characters. I don't need to tokenize characters. It's like, you want to get rid of Superman and Batman? Cool. Find a way for Henry Cavill to lose his powers, marry Lois, and they have a kid, and that kid has superpowers, and that kid could be a girl. Wonder Woman, you want to bring Batwoman into the universe, you want to kill Batman, okay. Have Bruce Wayne and Wonder Woman get busy. She has a boy, names him Damian. She becomes the Batman of that universe, but she has superpowers. So you change up Batman a little bit. Let's see, what else can we do? You want more black superheroes? Okay, cool. Let's bring in Green Lantern and have him be the only Green Lantern. John Stewart becomes a crucial member of the League. You've already got Martian Manhunter. When his alien disguise, he's a black guy. Also, I would, instead of changing the race of another character, why not bring in a popular character like Vixen? Vixen has an established audience. Vixen is not a tokenized character. She's an original creation from the 1980s. Very cool character. Bring in Vixen. You want some representation from Mexican Americans? Bring in Jaime, Blue Beetle. You don't want to do the Ted Kord thing? Well, why don't you bring Ted Kord in for, like, the start of Blue Beetle's movie? Have him be, like, Blue Beetle's stepdad, or maybe, like, uncle or something, or, you know, best friend of his dad. Something happens to Ted Kord where at least he's introduced. The explosion happens. The Scarab is melded onto Jaime, and it was apparently something Ted had and he was looking at for years. And Jaime becomes Blue Beetle, the, you know, alien version. There you go. So you get Jaime, you got a girl Superman, you have Green Lantern, Vixen, and let's bring in the Atom too. Everybody knows that Ryan was introduced. Let's have the Ryan come in and be part of the Justice League. So there you go. You fill in all the check boxes. You know, that makes Twitter happy or whatever. But these aren't tokenized characters. These were original characters that, when they first appeared, this is the race they were. Vixen wasn't race swapped to become Vixen. She was always somebody from Africa who was a supermodel or whatever. Green Lantern was the guy from Detroit, you know? You have original characters you could use, which I don't even understand. They have a guy like Icon, right? Who's basically like the Black Superman from the, oh my gosh, Milestone universe. Ha, I got it. Why can't they just bring in Icon? Like, explain some reason why Icon and Static are in the DC universe. Like, they have all these rich characters that people love and want to see in movies, and they don't use them. They're brilliant ideas. Let's take a traditional superhero, like Superman, and let's make him black. That's being edgy. It's like, no, it's not. Why don't you do Val Zod? Why don't, instead, if you don't want to do a Superman, use Icon. He's essentially Superman, but from a different comic book universe that is part of the DC universe. You know? I don't even understand why they're using Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern nobody likes, and he's not even a ginger. He's supposed to be a ginger. Why isn't this a vehicle for John Stewart, like the Green Lantern Corps? I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. Nobody wants a Guy Gardner Green Lantern series. I have tons of friends that are Green Lantern fans, right? None of them want this. They want a John Stewart show. They've been building up a John Stewart thing, and they're still building it up with Diggle. That's great, but why can't HBO Max do their own John Stewart thing, and the CW do theirs? Diggle can be the Green Lantern, but everybody wants to see traditional John Stewart, you know, either in the movies, like Zack Snyder cast, or they want to see him in his own, like, short-lived series on HBO Max. They don't want a show about Guy Gardner, the least liked Green Lantern. You're better off giving a show to Dexstar. People at least like Dexstar. Do Dexstar. Except here's something edgy. Instead of Dexstar being a Red Lantern, make him a Green Lantern. And he can talk. There you go. They need a Batman Who Laughs movie. Look at that. I just gave Warner Brothers so many ideas that would make them money. And it would make them money. But nope. Alright, guys. This is going to be the last Rumble. Dexstar's a really cool character. He is. He's fun. Dexstar is super fun. I love it. Playing as Marvel characters talking about DC. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. I am so bold. That's money right there. I know, right? What do I think of the Flash Season 7 so far? Meh. Flash Season 7 has been a mixed bag for me. And not a good mixed bag. It's like... Flash Season 7 to me is kind of like stale bread that's becoming moldy. Like, you can see the blue spots that are, you know, getting into the bread because the bread's been out too long. Or the bread is past its expiration date by a few days. So you know that it's getting kind of stale. And it's got... You have to throw out some pieces because it's getting blue a little bit. Because you don't want to eat that because you get really sick. That's what the Flash Season 7 is. And now they're trying to make you be like, just put the bread in the toaster because Godspeed is coming back. Godspeed is coming, so you want to the bread is still good toasty. And it's like, yeah, the Godspeed episode might be really good, but it might not be. They could just be like trying to reel people in with Godspeed and the potential that the Flash is going to die again because they want people to watch. And the Flash isn't going to die. They're probably going to kill off somebody else. Maybe they're going to kill Wally again. I don't know. Actually, they've never really killed Wally. Maybe they're going to kill Wally this time. Or, shocker, maybe they'll kill Flash's son. What's who's not supposed to be his son? Impulse. Who knows? I've kind of given up with the CW. I only watched the... Thanks for giving the imagery about bread. I was trying to be like use a understandable analogy that people would get what's going on with the Flash show. And that's basically what Flash is. Flash is stale bread that's getting kind of bluish. So it's going bad. Stale bread that's going bad. And Batwoman is leftovers from Thanksgiving that is growing into some type of sentient life form. And that you're curious about, but every time you open up the Tupperware, it stinks. And your whole house stinks. And you look at yourself in the mirror after getting sick, smelling that, and you're like, I don't understand why I just don't throw this out. Every time I open this up, it sucks. It smells horrible. It's taking up room in my fridge. You know? Be better off just, like, getting ice cream or maybe, like, I don't know, going out and buying a turkey or something because this turkey is bad. And I mean, I guess I'm curious to see what it turns into. Like, if it's going to get worse or if it's just going to... If the turkey is miraculously going to get better when it's full of mold and maybe sentient life. I don't know. But that's Batwoman in a nutshell. That's that show. You know it's bad. It's always bad. It's just you kind of stick around because I don't know. I don't have an excuse for why people stick around. Oh, because they're interested in Batwing now. But they don't want Batwing to be a sidekick. And also, Kate Kane is going to be Red Hood now, essentially. So, they couldn't really replace Kate. And that, you know, it's weird. If they bring Batman in now, it's not going to save the show. Nobody's going to care. The only show that people want for Batman is on HBO Max. That's what they want. It is time for a live-action Batman show, and it will work finally. But the CW is not a place for it. The CW is so messed up now that it doesn't matter. Ah, death by rocket launcher. There's no saving it. Yeah, it's straight up mold. But it's like black mold. Black mold will make you very sick. Like, honestly, if that ever happens, what you want to do is you just want to throw out the Tupperware that's in. Because if you open that up, you're going to get, like, wicked sick. And just from the fumes, it'd be enough to, like, KO you. Not enough to, like, you know, game over you, but definitely if, you know, if a family member was not smart enough to throw out, like, Thanksgiving food that's sitting there in your fridge or freezer, and you need to stay home sick from school, if you have that in your house, open it up, hold your breath, and just stay in the same room as it for like 5 minutes. This is a trick I did when I was a kid. You'll get so sick that it'll look like you'll have like some type of really bad stomach flu. And you'll miss school for like 3 days. Because in reality, you will have a parasite in you. It'll be whatever was in that food. Because smells can make you very sick. I didn't want to go to school a few times, so like people would forget that was in the back of the fridge because everybody worked. And, you know, just open up the window, I held my breath, opened up the Tupperware, took a couple deep breaths in the same room as it, got wicked sick, missed school for almost a week. It worked! Probably not the smartest thing I've ever done, but, yeah. I'm still here, but I wouldn't, like, take a deep breath, like, right in it. I'd probably yeet ya. Because the smell was enough to make me sick for quite a while. Bum-bum-bum. Could that parasite be a symbiote? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know science, but I know if you keep food that's expired in your fridge too long, and you try to open it, and you don't throw out the Tupperware it's in, you get very sick just from the smell. And it can also make your food gross too. Your healthy food. So you always want to make sure you purge your fridge at least once a month. Once a month you need to purge the fridge. Because chances are there's a milk that went bad, or maybe some butter. Butter goes bad, believe it or not. These are all things you learn as an adult. Food goes bad. It's not a life hack, it's real. Everything has an expiration date. Oh no, I have no gas! I'm running anyway. Even though I have no hope of survival, I'm running. I mean, the other trick that you can do, but you have to be careful because if you give yourself too high a fever from the old light bulb and the thermometer trick, although nowadays, I hear parents use a lot of ear thermometers and that, like, you know, takes more accurate temperature. What we used to do in the 90s is if you wanted to stay home sick from school, and the school where I went to, like, if you had a fever, they didn't want you to come in during flu season. And the thing is, I never got the flu, so what we did is you would take a thermometer and you would put it up against a fluorescent light, or maybe no, it was a halogen light. Old school light bulbs. I don't know what they're called anymore. Old school light bulbs, not the ones that have like mercury dust in them, like the ones that give you C. The regular light bulbs that are bad for your electricity bill. Those things get wicked hot. So you would put the tip of the thermometer or whatever near that, but not too far, because if it said you had a temperature of 104 or something, then in reality you would be on your way out of this mortal world. So you would need to be very careful how hot you heated up that thing before you put it in your mouth when you told your mom, oh, I don't feel very good. I don't want to go to school. And school was a nightmare for me anyway, so I didn't want to go to school. I got picked on all the time. School is terrible. So you'd heat up the thermometer just enough so it would say like around 101, 102. Stick it in your mouth, and then because naturally my forehead was always hot. Not anymore. My forehead's always ice cold. So I'd do that, and it works sometimes. One time I almost ended up going to the ER, though, because it said I was 103.1. So I had to tell my parents that I was faking, and because I didn't want to go in the ER. Like, they were going to call an ambulance and everything. My dad was coming home from work, and I called him up and I said I didn't want to go because, like, this girl shot me down. I was in high school. It worked all through junior high, but in high school, like, I don't know. I'd stayed up gaming all night, so when I tried to do it, I kept the thermometer on too long, and it gave me, like, a really high temperature. So, like, they were going to call 911, and my dad was going to rush home from work. So I had to tell them, no, I didn't. You know, I don't really have a fever. Use the arm thermometer, and sure enough, I didn't have a fever, and my mom was like annoyed, and I was like, well, I didn't want to go to school because I just got dumped, and you know, I thought she really liked me, and I don't want to see her, and so even though they told me to go to school, I ditched school that day anyway. I didn't go. I hung out. I think I went to the movie theater or the arcade. I didn't go to school that day. So, yeah. But the thermometer trick never worked again. But by then I was already like 17 years old, so I mean, it didn't matter. But it worked for quite a while. But nowadays, parents have like these thermometers that, even I have one. Like, they have like these ear thermometers. And they're pretty accurate, and they're very, very hard to fool because it measures like digital temperature or something like that, so you can't really trick it. So if it says you have a fever and you've got one of those like smart thermometers, like for your ear or something, then yeah. Wow, dude, I have a terrible shot. You should have killed me. Life hacks with K-Wing. No, don't do these life hacks. These are bad. I'm a student. I never did school before. K-Wing, you crafty rascal. This is why you need to get Loki when he comes out. Oh, I will. I like Loki. I would have stuck up for you, Luke. I think everyone in this chat would have done so, too. I don't know what that's really about. Didn't some up girl slap a Bible out of your hand in the school one time, K-Wing? Yeah, that was because... That wasn't the same girl, though. Coincidentally, I can tell you this story. I don't mind. Although you guys might think differently than me. But let me just tell you, from my perspective, and what the dictionary stated, what the definition of a cult was, and I was a witty, sarcastic guy. So, I was interested in this girl whose name was Amber Moon. And she was a popular girl, and she liked me, and I was a sophomore and she was a freshman, and because I was not very good at the school stuff, I was intelligent, but I wasn't like school smart, so I had to take like classes below me until, you know, I graduated early or whatever. We rode the same bus together, we lived in the same area, and she asked me to go to her church, and I knew that she was in a cult. And I'm not going to tell you what religion it was, but it was the opposite of Christianity, but they said they were Christians. And the dictionary stated that something that basically changed the teachings of Christ is a cult. So, me being the ADD guy I am, I was on the bus with her, and she asked me out, and I turned her down, and I said, well, I don't think I could date you. And she's like, why? What's the matter with me? And I said, look, Amber, I think you're a really great girl and all, but you and I, we just don't work. And she's like, why? She's like, I'm everything in a bag of chips, essentially. I said, well, you're in a cult. And I'll never forget, her eyes got really wide, and, you know, we got off at the same bus stop, and she was trying to talk to me. She's like, no, I'm a Christian just like you. It's like, no, you're not. I walked her home, and I kept talking about stuff and, like, running my mouth. So the next day, when I went to school, my high school career was over, basically. So the slapping the Bible out of my hand was from Cult Girl and her clique, which I didn't know at the time consisted of half the school. So the reason why I kind of kept to my own, playing my Game Boy Advance and doing all this other stuff is because, well, I kind of made myself public enemy of the school. So that's how that story happened. So that's the slapping of the Bible out of my hands and the confrontation between Amber Moon and all that stuff. It kind of piled from that. So that was me being me. And it was a funny story now, but back then it made high school life pretty bad. So, yeah, that's what happened. No, I don't think that's sweet. You don't, even if somebody has a different religion than yours and you know that it's a cult, you shouldn't be that honest with people if you're trying to have relationships in high school. I probably could have had a very interesting high school career, but because of that, I had an amazing college time because I met Amber in college, my wife. So Amber Moon and I weren't supposed to happen, but I think I could have learned to maybe speak better and not put my foot in its mouth, and maybe I wouldn't have been, because I was like the enemy on campus. Everybody heard about it from freshmen, the sophomores, and even the juniors. The seniors didn't really care because they were on a school trip at the time, so when they found out about it, they kind of laughed at me a little bit. But all the sophomores and all the freshmen and even some of the juniors, half the juniors hated me. And Amber Moon was like this really big person. She was like a cheerleader. She was on like the drama team or whatever they call it. She was in theater. She was all over the place. She helped with, she was a student counselor aide. So she was in with the faculty. It was like, oops. But like I said, college was better because when I came back from New York is when I met Amber, and you know I went full blown, like everything that I wanted to do in high school. Like I went full speed ahead, and you know I fell in love after essentially the first date, or actually the first conversation. Like I thought Amber was amazing, and you know I just everything that I was super careful of, I stopped being careful of. Pretty much. I dived in at 22 or something. 21 or 22. But anyway, that's the end of story time. And that's the end of Thanos. Thanos looks grumpy because he's forever alone because Death won't date him. Death expects him to wipe out a billion planets or whatever, and maybe they can share a Frappuccino. But secretly, she's cheating on him with Deadpool because she finds Deadpool more interesting because Deadpool can't die because of his healing factor. And that is very attractive to Death. And Thanos can die. As you saw in the MCU, he can be snapped from existence. It's hard to kill him, but he's not immortal. So, yeah. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun. Streams resume tomorrow with Sonic 06 is happening. Mario Tennis is happening. And some other stuff. So, I have to make some crazy thumbnails. But, yeah, I had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed story time and things like that. Sonic 06 hype. Great stream, thank you. Story time was very good. Yeah. Alright, guys. My internet is totally crashed, so that's not good. I think yeah. I don't know how I'm going to turn this off, actually. I'm going to have to vamp for a few minutes because I'm going to have to open up the internet here on my computer I'm streaming on because this computer over here is done. Which Amber says this has been happening a lot, so... Don't mind me, I'm just here. Look at Thanos' beautiful face. Beautiful, sad, prune-like face. Everybody wave to Thanos. Hello, Thanos. This is called vamping, ladies and gentlemen. This is what vamping's like. Does anybody know the definition of vamping? Kind of a big deal. YouTube's Alright, sweet. Connect stream software. My stream software is shown. So, as you guys know, Thanos is out now. Go buy him in the shop. There he is. Look at Thanos in his grumpy prune-like face. There he is. He looks like a California raisin. Does anybody know what a California raisin is? Because that's what Thanos is. A California raisin. Totally. Loki is coming, so there will be more Fortnite again when Loki drops next week, I believe. I hope. And we'll see what other Marvel characters and what other DC topics we can discuss while playing Marvel characters. Woo! Edgy. Alright, guys. See you at 4 o'clock with your first live stream. Which will either be Sonic 06 or Mario. Probably Mario and then Sonic 06. Probably. I think. Okay, bye.